Hello Linux fans, thanks for watching. I wanted to just share a video with you here on my progress with Solus OS. I've installed this on my main system. I've had a few questions about the performance of Solus, so I want to cover that. And as you can tell here, I've kind of done some theming. Although Solus OS has, I think, a very attractive theme out of the box. And for those of you who didn't see my video, last video on Solus OS 2017 on the point release, this is Solus OS with the Mate desktop using the new brisk menu. And so first of all, let's just talk about performance. The performance starting with the brisk menu, very impressed with the brisk menu. There's room for improvement. We need, addition of favorites and a few other things that I'm not going to get into at this point. Very fast menu. It's one of those things where you really don't appreciate it until you go in and so we'll do simple, for example, and before you can finish typing, I mean, it's like it's already pulled up the application. Launches fast, so on and so forth. In fact, catch the Big Daddy YouTube channel. I think he recently did a video just talking about how fast the brisk menu actually is. So that's one aspect of it, but had a viewer on Linux Quest who just wanted to know about performance. Now, I don't have testing software or anything like that to kind of step through performance, and I don't want, typically don't want to get caught up into that because performance is going to vary from hardware to hardware. At any rate, I did a cold boot on this system and it came in around 760 megabytes. That's on a system with 8 gigs of RAM. Now the old system, the old ASUS system that I installed this on the first time, my test machine, since it only has 2 gigs of RAM at cold boot, was only using like 450, I'll have to go back and look at my notes, in RAM usage, and I think that's because of the limited amount of RAM installed. Now we're going to look over here at System Tools, and we'll go into the system monitor here, and we're going to take a look. Now I'm recording right now, so everything you see here is some gauge for what you will. I'll put it that way. So at cold boot, again, I was showing 760 megabytes of RAM usage as opposed to 1.1 gigs here right now, and the CP usage or CP cycles were much lower, where CPU 1 was running around 11 or so, CPU 2 was 8 or 9, something like that, but of course with software and everything running in the background. But what I wanted to share with you is there are several standout areas within Solus OS that makes me say that this is truly one of the snappiest OSs I've used in some time. And this is coming from a guy who uses pretty slim Arch-based systems with KDE, GNOME, and as well as XFCE in the past, where I've spent lots of time with that, which is very snappy. This kind of takes the cake with the Mate desktop running within Solus. And so there's certainly been some focus, I think, to optimization of the operating system. And I want to give you just a few examples of that. Some will be better than others. So for example, I just did a reboot here, so I haven't launched into anything. So whatever I click on here is going to launch for the first time. One prime example of that, let's go down here to Office, and that's the WPS Office Suite. Now, WPS in some cases can launch fairly slow, and I've run this through GNOME, I've run it through Mate on other desktops, I've run it in XFCE as well as KDE. So I think I'm a pretty good judge at the speed at which WPS launches. I don't know what they've done here, but this is incredible. So I am going to click. Folks, that's almost like magic right there. The first time I clicked on WPS, when I did a fresh install and installed WPS, I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that can't be. Now, part of it, I think, is that the welcome screen portion of WPS that likes to load up all the templates and everything, that's not a part of this particular version of WPS Office. I'm not sure why that is, but at any rate, I've never seen WPS Office launch at that rate of speed. I'm going to do it again. Now, we've already opened it. If I did a reboot and stopped the video and came back, you'd see what I'm talking about. But again, it's like it's unbelievable. Actually, I don't know that I have launched presentation before. So let's launch that. Look at that. I mean, that is actually, I find it hard to believe if I weren't sitting here doing it myself. So, okay, I know, call me crazy that I'm getting giddy over how quickly that launches, but it's really, really impressive. Okay, so let's pick something else. Now, let's look at the file manager, Kaja. And this has really grown on me to become a really, I think, very close second to Dolphin for sure. So we'll launch that again. I mean, before the plank can finish its animation, the file manager's open. So that's impressive. Now, one that doesn't do quite as well is Firefox. And I don't know about you folks, but Firefox for me has never been a fast browser. And launching into Firefox for the first time, at first boot after, a reboot, or it's just never been fast. It's kind of, I would say the Firefox is getting a little age on it, or perhaps it hurt its leg at some point. Anyway, so we're going to launch Firefox and we'll see how it does. Okay, so it wasn't instant, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, needless to say, I'm really, really impressed with the performance. Now, there's another area of performance that struck me after installing about the second piece of software. And now there's a negative there too that we'll talk about. So let's go over to the Software Center. Something tells me that whoever's been working on the Software Center has put a tremendous amount of focus into making sure that whatever's in the repository and this whole Software Center setup here is faster than anybody else. I think that was a goal they had in mind. I think whoever's working on this decided, I want to have the fastest Software Center available, because to me, this is I can't say it. To me, this is the fastest Software Center I've ever used. It's faster than what I've experienced using, going through the AUR, PMAC, Pacman, all of those, and certainly faster than working with the Ubuntu Software Center. So let's jump over here into Multimedia and Graphics, General Multimedia Software. And let's see. Let's just go ahead and install Audacious. And you'll see how quickly just the interaction with everything within the Software Center is. And part of that is you don't have a lot of graphics and things here that need to load. You're seeing a short description of everything, so it doesn't take long to load text. But let's just go ahead and install this. Now, your mileage is going to vary depending on your internet connection, so I'm going to hit my password here and hit enter. Look at that. Done. Now, again, your mileage will vary depending on your internet connection, and I can tell you I'm not on fiber or anything like that. Let's just go ahead and install Kodi. And here it's just telling you you've got dependencies that are also going to be installed. And so for those of you who have installed Kodi on your system, you'll kind of know about how long that takes, perhaps. So we're going to hit install. And Kodi's a fairly large program, and plus we're installing dependencies here. So downloading 5 of 5 for Kodi. And probably not the best example of quick install of software. But my point is, my entire interaction with the Software Center within Solus has been really impressive, with the exception of third party. All right, so when I first was setting up Solus and getting everything in place, I had issues with Chrome. It took forever for Chrome when I would close out the Software Center and come back. And what I was actually looking for was Chromium, but to my knowledge, it's not available either in the standard repositories or the third party. Not sure why that is, but you do have options here for Chrome, Chrome Beta, and Chrome Dev. So anyway, I was having some slow install issues there. Not sure what happened. I had one small update and did a reboot, came back in, and it had better success. It was still kind of slow installing Chrome. But after that first install, everything else in the third-party repository seems to install fine. Let's see here. We'll pick something to install. Oh, and I like seeing this too. Check for updates. So that's nice. That kind of stands out. Let's see here. What would we install? I've got most of what I would want here in the, I don't know what Bitwig Studio is. Let's just give that a try. And I think part of this is due to the fact that the software provided by the third party, or the software in the third party category here, is not resting on the Solus repository servers. So more than likely, that's what the problem is. But so I'm not going to blame this entirely, or really blame this on the Solus OS Software Center. It's just a simple fact that this is sitting on some other server by the third party, and it could be on GitHub, it could be in various places, and the Software Center's got to go out and pull that in. All right, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and let it do its thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about as far as performance. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about is the theming, and as you can tell here, if you were just looking at this and I didn't tell you what it was, you may think, due to the icons, that this is Peppermint OS. One of the nice features of the Mate desktop is that it's very themable, very customizable, and so this is the this is the latest version of the Mate desktop, which is GTK3, and so some nice themes available now for GTK3. It's been around long enough, and so all right, so that's still running. So we're going to go back over to home here, and basically I wanted to step through some of the themes that are available. You're not going to find every theme on the planet installed in the repository list under Solus. But what you will find under desktop theming category, so the main category is desktop software and theming, desktop theming, you will find a very nice list of high quality themes and icon packs. Again, not everything, but some well-known themes such as Numix, Mocha. This is a nice one, El Capitan, which is kind of Mac-ish, if you will. Let's see, some others, Faba, EvoPop, Elementary, of course, and Breeze. So if you're a fan of the KDE Plasma Breeze theme and icon set, that is there, as well as the cursor theme, which I'm using here, Snow, Arc, of course. So a very nice selection, and some others that were kind of surprises, and one of those that I have in place right now are the Sardi Icons. So paper, that's another very nice theme, the Sardi Icons. So that's what you have here. So we're going to jump over and just kind of take a look while this is still trying to install that third-party software. And again, I'm not blaming Solus, the Solus Software Center on that, because that third-party stuff's out in the ether somewhere, and depending on how they're set up, I think is, whether you're going to be successful with quickly installing third-party software or it taking a long time like we're seeing here. All right, so to go into your theming, we're going to go to Change Desktop Background, and you'll notice that you launch first into the Background or Wallpaper tab. And I'll just say that the default wallpapers within Solus OS are, they're okay. They're not the best looking set of wallpapers I've ever seen, but I don't get really hung up on wallpapers. I mean, you can download and install whatever wallpaper meets your fancy. But just kind of, that was one of my observations when I was first getting everything set up. Then let's go over to theme, and right now you'll see that this is custom. The default theme is under the Arc Dark series or Arc series, and by default the theme for Solus OS is very attractive. But I can't resist. I have to go in and mess with things, and I'm always applying different themes, wallpapers, things like that. So, but there are some very nice themes, once you get them all set up, paper's very nice. You can see I've saved a few here. So once you get a theme the way you like it, you can save it. But to go in and start the theming process, you can choose Customize. And there you're going to be able to choose your control, your window border. So here we have Adapta in place. Your icon. So this is Sardi Arc. Can't talk this evening. Sardi Arc. And to me, that's a really attractive set of icons. It's very uniform. And then Pointer. And so we have Breeze Snow here. And so basically you've got these 4 tabs that you can go in and make all of your adjustments once you have installed the various themes. And as quickly as the Software Center, let's see our progress here. Maybe that's done. Yep, looks like it's done now. Okay, as quickly as the install process is from the applications that are in the repository, in the Solus repository, just install them all and give them all a try, you know. Let's see here. Maybe I haven't installed that. Okay, let's just see how quickly that installs. Let's see. Vertex is a theme for GTK3, 2, Gnome Shell, and Cinnamon. So it supports Mate, so let's just go ahead and give it a whirl. Super fast. I mean, literally, I have installing themes, literally shaken my head before and said, really? I'm spending this much time for a theme to install? Everything I've installed from the Solus repository has been like that right there, just so fast. So really, so far, the experience, needless to say, has been really, really good. Now that I've got a few key pieces of software available to me, getting it all set up and everything was really a breeze. And so far, I'm not planning on changing here. The only issue that I'll probably face is because I review software and take a look at various tools and things within Linux, I may come up against a wall where I simply don't have the time to compile it and install it the hard way. And so at some point, if I face that enough, maybe I'll change. Who knows? I'm just a distro hopper at heart, but really, really enjoying Solus OS. And it's one of those things too, where if I was just running this in a VM for a few hours, I wouldn't really be able to get the feel for it. Running it on your main system, using it as you would, day in, day out, and we all use our systems differently. Some use it for music and creation, and others use it from a business standpoint. Others just surf the web and check their stuff all through the browser. So we all use our OSs differently, but this is an impressive OS, and the stability, you kind of get a feel, and I'm not going to say I've run this long enough, maybe 24 hours now. It's hard to gauge or get a feel for stability within 24 hours, but my gut's telling me this is going to be one of those systems that is super stable. It just so far feels that way. So maybe my spidey sense is telling me. So, anyway, I've rambled on long enough. I hope this is informative, and for those of you wanting to know about performance within Solus, I give it super high marks on the performance standpoint, and obviously from the customization, being able to go in and change the UI around, as you can tell here. I've got the Conky widget, or whatever you want to call it there, Conky system monitor running. There's a couple, almost forgot, don't want to forget this, because this was something that I had not picked up on within Mate before. So I'm going to launch the window, or the file manager here, and then we'll launch the calculator. And you'll notice as I do that, there's a little dock up here that I've added to the panel. And let's go in, and since I was talking about theming, I almost forgot that. So I basically was able to right click. You can go up here and choose properties, launch into General tab and Background tab, choose solid color, and then you can turn that transparency all the way down as we have here. It really changes things quite a bit when you have just this plank running down here at the bottom. But the dock, this is a new, actually, let's right click on that and go to About. Oh, no, I didn't get it. Hold on here. Let's see if we can get it this way. There we go. So the applet for this, which you can then add to the plank up top, is the dock applet vo.73. And this is very nice in that you see these small icons up here as opposed to other open applications, that put a block up here with words and description of what you have open. And if you get 3 or 4 apps open, it just clutters up your top panel, whereas this keeps everything really nice and neat. Let's launch into the terminal so you'll see that. Let's see here. We'll launch into Keep, and you'll see that. So again, really, it's been nice getting it set up. It's been very nice running it, and hope you like this, and we will check you later.